Welcome back to Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. This is the Monster Book of Monsters. Game 1, we're playing with Hermione, and we're playing with Luna. And so let's get to it. The first thing we do on our turn, we're going to start with Hermione, is we're going to draw a Dark Arts card. And we have this one, of course, which we looked at earlier. Inquisitorial Squad, active hero, puts a detention in their hand, then all heroes lose 1 health for each detention in hand. Alright, we've seen this before, so we're going to put a detention in Hermione's hand, and that's going to give her 1. So she's going to lose 1 health for that. And I don't think Luna's got any detentions at all in hand, so we don't have to worry about her. Alright, after that, and we're drawing 1 Dark Arts card because we're at Castle Gates, which says 1. Alright, the Dementor, active hero, loses 2 health. Ouch. Hermione's going to go from 8 down to 6. Each time Dark Arts cause you to discard a card, we didn't add Dark Influence to the location. It does not look like this is going to trigger the end of each turn. If the active hero has 4 or less health, they draw 4 instead of 5. So we're good to go, I do believe. So let's start playing cards for Hermione. And I think we're going to start right off with Cho Chang. Draw 3 cards, then discard any 2 cards. Any 2 cards. So, and if you discard this, you lose 2 health. So let's keep that in mind. So Hermione's going to draw 3 cards to 3, adding to her mitt full of stuff, and she gets to discard any 2. She's got another detention. So she has to discard 2 cards. Well, she might as well discard her 2 Alohomorphas, I think. So what she's going to do, so those are discarded, keeping her detentions at hand, because if you discard them, you lose 2 health, so we don't want to do that. Alright, so these are kind of useless cards for her. Let's take a look and see what she has. Pretty much what she started with. Alright, let's take a look. Cho Chang. So she draw 3 cards. Then she gets to roll the house die. The Ravenclaw house die. So let's go ahead and roll that. Now she gets to re-roll it if she wants, because she's got arithmancy. And she gets a card, and that's going to be a card draw for both herself and Luna, so we're going to keep that roll. So she gets to draw a card. She gets an Alohomorpha. Alright, and Luna gets to draw a card. So we'll just take the card, stick that in Luna's hand for her next turn. Excellent. Alright, continuing on. So Hermione's got an Alohomorpha for 1 influence. And what else does she have? The Time Turner. You may put spells you acquire on top of your deck, so she'll get another influence for that, which is actually pretty good. Choose 1. She can either gain an attack or 2 health. She's at 6 health. I think she's going to use Crookshanks for 2 health, 6 up to 8. And choose any one of the house dice to roll. She'll roll the Slytherin, I think, which is this one, and she gets to re-roll because she's got arithmancy, and that's another card for both herself and Luna. So she's going to get herself another card, which is another Alohomorpha, giving her an influence. Luna gets another card. She's going to have to shuffle her discard pile. This is actually should have a good turn for Luna. We'll see. Oh, and I should say, the first time you draw an extra card, on your turn. Okay, this is not Luna's turn. So she gets another card. She's going to have a huge hand for next turn. Alright, that's it for Hermione, and she's got 3 influence to spend. And I think with 3 influence, she will, excuse me, she's going to take one of these, which is gain influence. You may banish a card in your hand. If it's an item, draw a card. Excuse me, so she's going to do that. That's going to go on top of her deck because she played the Time Turner. If I get this correct, you may put spells you acquire on top of your deck. So there, she did that. I don't think there's anything else. She didn't play 4 spells. She's played 2. And that's going to be the end of her turn then. So she's going to discard all of her cards. She'll drop 5 new ones. So she has 1, which of course is going to be the one she just got. I have to shuffle her discard pile. This will take so much time. But alright, shuffling her discard pile. And let's hope everything's going okay. So 4 more, 3, 4. The reason she's drawing 5 is because her health is higher than 4. Did she play 2 cards with an even? Oh, damn it, I don't even remember. Play 2 cards with an even value on your turn. She may have. She played Hogwarts A History. Actually, she played Hogwarts A History and she played Zhou Chang. That was 2 cards with an even. Oh my goodness. Alright. So let's make sure we finish off this as well. Play 2 cards with an even value. So she did. Each time you play a card with an even value, any one hero gains 1 life. So she gets that now. That's another ability she has that I have to keep track of. And we also have students out of bed. Each time a hero shuffles their deck, put a detention in it first. And I don't think that's going to trigger, or does she immediately get that? And then she had to shuffle. I'm going to rule that she doesn't have to add that. She spent her 3 influence. Let's get rid of this before I will forget. Oh my goodness. And we're going to replace the Hogwarts card with George Weasley. Gain an attack. Another hero has a Weasley in hand. All heroes gain a health. Roll the Gryffindor die. Alright, that wasn't Slytherin I rolled, it was Gryffindor. I should make a correction for that. Alright, we're not putting any much damage on the villains / creatures, but it is now going to be Luna's turn. I think I got everything straightened out there. So let's have Luna take a turn. Okay, thinking about this, I do believe we are going to be putting a detention into Hermione's deck. So I'm just going to kind of redo that. So this was on top of her deck. So she is going to get that card for her next turn. I put 1 more detention into her hand, and I'm going to shuffle her cards because I do believe this is going to trigger now. For sure. Because as soon as you do this, this comes off, I believe, and so she's going to have to shuffle her cards. Alright, so we're doing that, and that's any player. And the way to get rid of it is I think you discard a card and a life, and you complete this. I might have to look that up, but I think that's all you've got to do to actually defeat that particular one, unless you actually have to get the house dice to do that. But I'll have to take a quick check on the internet and make sure that that's how that works. Alright, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so now, excuse me, Hermione's next hand will be this one, a little more hot, a detention, 2 detentions. Wow. Alright, she's going to be able to use this to get rid of 1 detention, so she's starting to get her hand clogged up with detentions. That doesn't help us. Alright, now let's go over to Luna. And what I am going to just start making the episodes Hermione's turn, then Luna's turn, so that I can hopefully catch everything, because there's so many interlocking pieces now with this game. If I do 4 turns an episode, I'm probably going to end up messing things up really badly. So I'm just going to do 2 episodes, probably going to be around 10 minutes anyway, or more. So apologize for that, but I do want to try and make this playthrough as error-free as I can. But as always, check the comments as well. Alright, now let's go over and have Luna take a turn. Alright, so with some Google foo, I've figured out how this is supposed to work. These are actually house die rolls that you need. And the game came with, of course, these little tokens here. And so if you roll this on the house die instead of using it, you're just going to put it on here until you have both of them covered. So we need to roll a card one and a heart one to get rid of this, which is going to be kind of tricky, but Hermione's got lots of options, and she has arithmancy, so we should be able to deal with this in time. Alright, it is Luna Lovegood's turn. First thing we do on a turn is we look at a Dark Arts card. And the Dark Arts card she gets is Flipendo. Active hero loses a health and discards a card. Okay, well, she had a ton of cards in hand. You know, from 7 health down to 6. She has to discard a card. She has no chocolate frogs, so we're not going to be able to do that. Okay. I think we're not in too bad a shape. She's just going to go ahead, I think, and discard one of her Alohomorphas. Pardon me. And let's see what else. That's it. Alright. Active hero loses 2 health. She's going to go from 6 down to 4, getting a bit into the danger zone. Each time a Dark Arts or villain causes a discard a card, that hero loses 1 health. So she's going to go from 4 health down to 3, and we didn't add a Dark Influence to the location. And each time a hero shuffles their deck, put a Dementor in it first. Alright, she's down to 3 health. This is not great. However, she does have a lot of options to play now. So she's got 1 Lomorha, 2, 3. So that's an immediate 3 influence to start, which is all good. Let's see what her ability is. First time you draw an extra card on your turn, any hero gains 2 health. Okay, she doesn't have that yet. And the first time you assign 1 or more attack or influence to a creature, any 1 hero gains 2 health. Alright, we're going to keep that in mind. The Dementor is a villain creature here, so we could use her ability if we put an attack on the creature. Alright. Choose one, gain 2 health, or an attack. We're going to use an attack there. Whoops. Oh my goodness. That was really not good. Jesus. Alright. There we go. I think we got things back to order. Voldemort's falling apart here. Alright. Okay, so with that, now that I've got things cleaned up, sort of. Oh, that was the 1 attack that she got. Alright, sorry about that. My goodness, knocking that tray around. Okay, and now she's going to use Quidditch gear. She's going to use 1 attack for the Quidditch gear. Let's try not to knock the dice tower around again. And this one, any 1 hero gains 3 health. She's going to do that for herself. So she's going to go from 3 up to 6. And she gets to draw a card. So she will draw a card, which is in the Lomorha, giving her an influence. Remember, the first time you draw a card on your turn, any hero gains 2 health. She's going to do it for herself, 6 up to 8. And now she can start spending her influence and doing her attacks. So I think she's going to put 1 attack on the Dementor, which is a villain creature. And that is going to then trigger this ability of hers, which is first time you assign 1 or more attack or influence to a creature, any 1 hero gains 2 health. Okay. She's probably going to give the 2 health over to Hermione, taking her to maximum health of 10, because Hermione's going to be going next. Then as far as the attacks go, I think we're going to put the attack on the Dementor. Well, it's not going to really. Let's put it on Lucius Malfoy. We're going to try to get rid of him because every time influence goes on a location, and get rid of attacks. All right, Luna's got 4 to spend, and she may as well. This is rolling a house die. I wonder if we should leave that one for Hermione or get it for Luna. It's the only 4 out there, or she can do the Reparo. Gain 2 or draw a card. Drawing cards are good for Luna. So maybe she should get Reparo for 3? I don't know. I think she probably should gain the ally. I think she's going to go ahead and get George Weasley for 4. And that's going to spend all of her influence. And I think now that's the end of her turn. If I did everything correctly. That's why I'm only doing 2 turns an episode, so I can catch everything. Drawing up 5 new cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is going to be her Lion Mask, her Specs, and a Reparo, 3 Lomorhas. Alright, I think that's the end of the turn. I'll replace the Hogwarts card with Arthur Weasley. All heroes gain 2 influence for 6. Ooh, wow, we're getting a little bit pricey in there, but we should be okay. And the end, each time a hero shuffles their deck. Well, nobody's had to shuffle their deck just yet. So that's good. Alright, that I do believe is going to be the end of our episode for today. Again, I hope I have not screwed anything up. So we got her ability, we got the proficiency ability. I think I've gotten everything done correctly, except I've knocked everything over, but I think I got that all sorted out too. Not going to worry about that too much. 2 attacks on Lucius. We got 1 on the Dementor. Crabbe and Anoyle are still out here. We have 1 Dark Influence on the location. Yeah, this is a lot to keep track of, and I hope I'm doing a good job of it. So, and I got to remember too now that Hermione has this ability: reward each time you play a card with an even value. Any hero gains a life. Got to remember that as well. So that's another ability Hermione has now for taking out the Cornish Pixies. We need to roll house dice, a heart, and a card to get rid of students out of bed. Whew! Alright, thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, likes. This is Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. This is now the Monster Book of Monsters expansion, and we're playing Game 1. So thanks so much. We'll see you in the next episode.